Hi guys, it's Deborah Detter here, and I've come on today to, I was just making a tag to send out with a swap that I'm mailing out tomorrow, and thought, why not turn the camera on just for fun? So, yeah, it was an ATC swap, but I always like to send something, little something extra. And I'm not going to say what it's for. So if the person by some odd chance happens to watch this, which I doubt they will, but if they do happen to watch this, they won't know it's for them. So the ATCs that I did are more of a, what would you say, modern style. It's not vintage by any stretch of the imagination, so it's bright bold colors, glitter, a lot of black with bright colors. So I wanted to make the tag something completely different, so I started off with a craft tag, and I've already added scrapbook paper to one side that I really liked, and I had a hard time with that. This paper is from Prima, if I'm not mistaken, and I actually have 4 of these paper pads because it's my favorite scrapbook paper. That can be another video. Maybe I could show you some favorite and versatile paper packs or something, crazy like that. Who knows? Anyway, that being said, using one of my favorite papers, and like I said, this is the reverse side, and I had a hard time deciding on which to use, but I thought I would play on, if you can see in here, I have to do something about my lights, y'all. They're terrible. Anyway, there's a little bit of blue over here on the side, and some smudged, looks like paint smudged blue up there and down here. I thought I'd play that blue up with the pink and the dark slate color from the print text and that. So immediately, I always want to make tags. I love to use the Tim Holtz people. So I pulled the gang out. I call them the gang. And I typically lose these in my craft room. It's so funny because, yeah. But tonight, actually, I did good. I had to actually place them in a drawer where I have other printed ephemera that's like not real vintage. It's like fake vintage ephemera, if you want to call it that, that we buy. It's not genuinely vintage. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Still all has the same effect. So the gang here, my point is I was able to go put my hands on them. I used this little girl, this little ballerina in one of my last videos of some tags that I made and shared. No, I didn't share them on video, did I? It was on Instagram, I believe. Yeah. Oh, by the way, on Instagram, if you want to follow, I am the Beaufort Belle on Instagram too. So let's move on. The first thing I saw when I looked right up here, I have a basket that has lots of little things in it, like tags, ticket tags, like carnival tickets. Well, here's the bag, those tags. I purchased these from the Brown Pear. If anybody has never been to her shop before, she has fabulous items like this, vintagey. I have little whatnots, pieces of, cheesecloth. My, what else is in here? All kinds of things. Library cards, my corner trimmers, just little stuff that I tend to grab frequently. All kinds of trim. I spotted this one. Got it on clearance at Michael's. Anyway, it kind of looks like cake icing is why I love it. So I debated with this one, which is a pink velvety trim. I love to run my trims on tags. I don't know why. Down the side. Just one of those things. I just like that. Down the long way. Like so. Or over here on this side, like that. But like I said, I want to play on this blue, so I don't want to cover a lot of the blue up. And I know I'll be layering on top of this. So the pink just kind of, it was not enough of a contrast. You really won't notice it, which I know sometimes is very good, but not for what I'm looking right now. So I chose the original one that I spotted and cut a length of that off. This little trim here. And love it. I love off-white. I'm not a big fan of white. It's so stark. I just feel like, I don't know. It's just not my fave. My favorite is off-white or ivory. In fact, my wedding dress was ivory. Oh my God, it was so pretty. I'm gonna run that down the side. And then playing on the blue, I spotted my bag of tickets there. Now where did I put it? Excuse me. And decided I'd put a ticket on here. And my first decision was to place the ticket like this. Just lay it underneath. And as always, I wanted to put a big flower or some kind of flower embellishment down in this bottom corner. And I didn't want to cover up, you know, I want some of the ticket to show. Yeah, like that. So I, you know, the blue just doesn't go well with that blue. They don't play well together. The colors are too far off. I mean, they're so close, but not, you know what I mean. This is, I spotted this and thought, oh, that'll work, but it's more of a teal color, although that would work. You can make that work if you had to. Then I spotted this pretty little pink thing, and I thought, you know, this pink, this baby pink, kind of faded in spots would be so cute with this little pink flower. I don't know, something about the pinks were working for me. So that was my plan. And then all I had to do was pick out, you know, a little main character out of the gang. So I decided to pick a woman. It looks very feminine. Blah, I can't say that. Feminine. And my first thought was to put a little, this little tiny lady. I don't think I have a bigger one of her. I didn't look really good, to be quite honest, but she popped out and I thought she was kind of cute. But I really wanted something with more size to it. I just thought the composition would be better. So I tried this little girl, and she would definitely, most definitely work. And the only thing I wanted to do to her was, they didn't do a good job of trimming out the extra in the, like between the legs there. So I was gonna, I was just getting ready to get my, what do you call that thing? Craft knife, or, you know, this thing with the blade. Craft knife, I think that's what you call that. I don't know why I'm having a hard time today thinking of words. Anyway, and cut that out, trim her up, and give her a whirl. And I mean, she absolutely would do, but something about it, I thought, you know, it's so much like the last tag that I did. I wanted a little something different with the blue. I didn't want this ticket to be covered up so much by the trim and the flower. So I had an idea. I said, well, I could take this ticket and use it to anchor the little girl so she doesn't look like she's, you know, just floating around in space there. Give her something to stand on. And that is super cute, I think. And I could trim her up. But as I was looking at the gang over here sitting, I noticed this little girl that is in a seated position. Her. And I thought, you know, we could put her on this tag and have her seated on the ticket. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do, put her there. And I also changed the flower a little bit. Well, I say I've changed it, I'm undecided. That, yeah, there I go. That's where I wanted it. I want that little bit of blue there to show. But she just, her little dress fits right over the edge of the ticket there perfectly, and she's just so cute. I'm thinking about placing this flower, which is an off-white. I don't know, it covers up a lot of her shoe, and adding that to my flower layers here. Layer them up like that. Oh, I like that with the 3. Okay, how does that look? Yeah, let me hold it up. I don't know how well y'all can see. Okay, so there are my layers. We've got some ribbon trim, a ticket, Tim Holtz family member or person, I forget what they're called, and a layered flower. And I feel like that'll fit in the envelope fine. And it doesn't add a whole lot of weight to the envelope. This is going overseas too, so I have to keep that in mind for postage. Yeah, I think I like that look. So now all we have to do is put it together. So we start off, let's see. Oh, I wanted to show you this. I keep a lot of my flowers that are still in the packages, you know, like this, that are, you know, glued to cards. So, I mean, they're, you know, they're very neat as they are. Or little tiny things like this and this. In a shoe holder on the back of a closet door in here. But for my flowers that are like this size, or that I've pulled out to use for other projects and then changed my mind, you know, I had auditioned them and decided not to use them, or they come loose like this, and like this bucket was just getting too full. I don't like them all crunched up and you know, smushed and wrinkled and bent and all that jazz. So to make some room in my bucket here, we had one of these, actually I have several of these cookie tins. You know, they're always out at Christmas time. And I keep my, these loose flowers in here. And I just took a piece of lace that I had, hot glued that on, and then hot glued the little flower on the top. And see, I just pop these in there, kind of in their groups, for now anyway. For now, how about that? How about for now? Yep, just a neat way to keep them organized and easy to find. I keep them on a little shelf right here near my desk. And even though I know some of you would probably balk at the idea of having flowers scattered everywhere, that just happens to work for me. Yeah, so, okay, get the Tim Holtz people over here. I'll clean them up later. And let's pull our elements aside. I think I will ink around her. Let's go ahead and do that. And the card, and I'll use black very lightly. I do have a steel gray, I think it is, ink, but I'm not in the mood to get up and, oh, I should ink my ticket too. The one thing I'm not going to ink that I normally do lately like to ink are my flowers. I'm leaving those just as they are. So let's get some ink on here. And I have gotten in the habit lately of actually heat setting it. Let's see, I want to get it everywhere but not all up on her face. Yeah, I set it with my heat gun. Yep, I'm getting it on her face. Okay, Deborah, really? Okay, maybe nobody will notice. Main thing is around her dress, her little outfit. Yeah, what I was saying was I heat set it just to make sure that it doesn't get smudged. And do it around her boots too, just to make sure that that white edge kind of disappears. It's not real noticeable, or not noticeable at all would be the idea. So, okay. And, oh, need more ink. Yeah, it doesn't ink real well if you don't have your little sponge loaded there. I wonder, huh? Yeah, there we go. Okay. And moving along. See, it just defines her a little bit more. These corners, y'all, are so hard to get into. Yikes. And the bottom of the bow. Side of the bow. One little, whoops, dab. I killed that. Okay, I think that's good enough for her inking. Let her dry. We'll do the ticket. Yeah, I got in this thing where I liked inking the paper flowers especially. And sometimes it's really pretty. Just gives them a little, you know, they stand out a little better. Okay, paper. There we go. I think maybe this black ink pad is in need of a re-inking. I tell you one thing that does not need to be re-inked is my black Staz-On. Okay, let's talk about black Staz-On. I only have, in Staz-On, I only have black, and I think I have one of their white stamp pads, like wedding dress or something like that, and one other color, and to be honest with you, I can't tell you what it is. I think it might be red, but that's not the point. The point is, oh, purple. I have purple. There's something about the Staz-On ink, and what I want to know is, if anybody else has noticed this, it smells so good. I really probably should use it more, but it makes you wonder. Usually things that smell good like that people like to smell of, aren't good for you, but oh my God, it has, it almost smells like some kind of grape medicine that we used to take, Dimetap. That's it. It smells like Dimetap taste, or how it used to taste. I don't know what it tastes like now. But that was the one medicine I was a terrible medicine taker when I was a child. Yeah. I was more fearful of having to swallow a spoonful of some kind of syrupy nastiness than I was of a shot with a needle that long on it. I'm not kidding you. Or taking capsules. Don't know what it was about capsules, but capsules tore me out the frame. And I had asthma. I grew up with asthma. And we had this medicine called theophylline that we used to take. They were these brown capsules. I don't even think, they may use theophylline now still, I'm not sure. Doesn't matter though. But anyway, the capsules at the time, back in the 70s, were brown, and that may have played in my head a little bit with it being brown in color and, you know, the shape of it and all rounded like a capsule, like little, you know, dookies or something. I don't know. Point was, I gagged on them, and my mom, they were expensive. Now, I grew up upper middle class, very, very lucky. We were very blessed. My dad had a great job, and Mom didn't even, she worked sometimes and sometimes she didn't. But point is, Daddy had good benefits. That medicine was so expensive that my mom got to the point where Deborah wasn't throwing up any more capsules and letting them go down the drain. She would clog the drain, you know, pull the stopper, and stand there with me until that capsule went down. Oh, those were bad days. I hated that so much, y'all. You just can't imagine. So why am I telling y'all this? Lord, I've lost my train of thought. I'm telling you this because medicine. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to cut this part of the video out. I don't even know what I was talking about. I'll think of it as soon as I turn the video off, and then I'll sound like an idiot. Okay, oh, we were talking about the smell of the Staz-On pad. Has anybody else ever noticed that, or is it just my particular pad that I got? Yeah, black Staz-On. Give it a sniff. It smells really good. Try it sometime. Doesn't do anything for you, I just happen to like it. Oh, another tip I learned from somebody else, this was not my idea, is to rubber band your pads. And y'all, don't say it takes too much time. It takes all of 2 seconds to wrap that rubber band around. And then you store them upside down, the dye pads. Pigmented pads, the ones that take so long to dry, you store up in an upward position. But your dye pads, permanent, archival, Staz-On, I keep stored upside down. It keeps the ink in the pad part. And, you know, juicier. It makes you have a juicier pad, which is how I know my black is going out, because it's kind of dry. But it takes all of 2 seconds, and what I did was I bought a rubber band ball kit, and one of my kids sat down and put the rubber band ball together. I have that ball of rubber bands over here on the side, and I sat down one day. It took me all of 5 minutes, and I have a lot of ink pads. I mean, I've got a box that's about, I don't know, 8 inches tall and, you know, 14 inches across maybe. Huge box that is solid full of ink pads. Took me all of 5 or so minutes to band them together, the lids on. The ones that are the worst about coming apart are these distress, the oxides or the regular distress ink pads, I think. I like to keep them stored upside down, and I go to pick it up and that lid falls off, or it was already loose, you know. Just a tip I wanted to share in case you haven't thought about that. Yep. Save your ink pads. They can last you quite a long time. I bet you this ink pad right here, this was one of the first ink pads I started with when I started mixed media, and that was in 2015. So this spring, this will be 3 years old. I've never re-inked it. Never. 3 years. Black. And we know how much we use black ink, right? So let me wipe the black spongy bits off of my little work surface here. Put that away. And let's see what we've got going on now that we have inked up everything but the flowers and the trim. Yeah. Okay, I want this to go right here. And what I want to do is different from what I was thinking. Okay, the length of this, the way the ribbon's designed, yeah, that'll work. I'm going to cut it where, actually, let's wait and cut it after we glue it down. I want these little skinny parts to be on the edges of the tag. So where is my tacky glue? Here it is. And I think my tacky glue is kind of gunked up, guys, because I was watching Dawn on Let's Make a Mess squirt glue out of her tacky glue bottle just like this, and hers was just whoosh, flowing out. Mine, you have to have a death grip on it, and with my arthritis it hurts really bad and it's hard to do. So let me dig this just a second. If I take too long, I'll cut it out. I think there might be a glob of something up in there, because truth be told, I did have this up on the shelf for about 9 months before I used it. I didn't realize how much tacky glue I had when I picked these up, you know, because they're the kind that stand up on this little, you know, clear thing. And they're so very handy. Your glue's ready to go. You don't have to sit there and just shake, shake, shake it down. Well, they were on clearance somewhere. There were only 2 left. I snagged them, and then got home and was so excited to use them, and I would not let myself open them until I had finished off my regular bottles that were, you know, had the opening at the top of the bottle like this and stand up like that. Yeah, I didn't realize how many of those I had open and laying around or standing around the room. So, yeah, I've just opened this recently, and it's horrible. Okay, I can't do a straight line to save my life, but I want it to go from this, we'll try, corner. See, it just does not want to come out. I don't know what's going on in there. Maybe Dawn just has super strong hands. Yikes. Okay. It doesn't have to be a super lot, but I don't want it to come off either. I want there to be plenty for this trim. This trim is kind of thick, and I want it to have plenty to sit down in and anchor it really well. I would die if something I sent to somebody started coming apart. I really would. Okay. I think that'll work. Okay, Dawn, I want to know your secret. Do you have just super strong hands? I'm a weakling, I think. Lay this down in the glue and just gently push it on. You don't want to smush all that good glue out, so I try to be real gentle with my placement, but make sure it is down in there. And it does dry clear, so it doesn't matter if it kind of squishes out a little bit. That's all right. Okay, is that straight enough? I hope so, because that's how we're going to leave it. Okay. Now, the last time I did something on here, what was it I did last video? Oh, the abandoned places. If you haven't seen that, go check that out, and feel free to skip in that video, skip along, because it's quite long, lengthy. It's even 2 parts, and y'all wouldn't believe the parts that I cut out of that, but I mean the length, the amount of time I cut out, and it's still that long. Excuse me. So feel free, if you watch it, to fast forward. Just watch the bits that you want, and but I would like for you to watch it if you haven't, and see if it inspires you to try altering some layouts in some coffee table books or magazines, or you know, anything. It's a lot of fun, and especially if you like collage, it's super fun. Anyway, the point is, what I was trying to say with this was, when I was gluing some elements onto the layout of that in the abandoned places, I kind of misstepped and went ahead of myself, and there was a piece that was supposed to be underneath of something. I forgot about it, layered the thing that over it, you know, without it being there, and luckily it worked out. Sometimes you don't get lucky like that though, and your elements, you either have to leave them out or make some kind of big change. Okay, let's double check where we want this ticket to go. Get my flowers. Okay. Oh, the part about the medicine, besides the fact, yeah, we were talking about the Staz-On pad and it smells like Dimetap. The whole big deal about that was the only medicine my mom could come to me. She'd have a spoon in one hand and a bottle of medicine in another hand. I mean, I can see it just like it was yesterday. And here had been sick for a couple of days, you know, coughing and hacking, both me and my brother. And it was always either neither of us were sick or we were both really sick. I don't know how my mom survived. But anyway, here she'd come with that spoon and that medicine bottle, and I'd just be like, oh my God. My brother would just open his mouth. He was like a little bird. You know, open your mouth, take your medicine, swallow it, and he was done. I had to make a big production about the whole thing and cough and gag and run and cry and just have the greatest time. But if I saw it was the purple Dimetap, I turned into the little bird. It tasted like grapes in a strange sort of way. It's what I guess grape Kool-Aid be like, really, really, really strong grape Kool-Aid. Yeah. That's what the Staz-On pad smells like, is grape flavored Dimetap. Those were bad days, yeah. And of course now I can swallow a handful of pills at one time, which is good because I have to take so many with all of my issues. Super fun. Okay, for the ticket, I'm going to use my favorite new tool. And this might not be a good idea because once you stick this on, it is down. My ATG gun, got it for Christmas. Woohoo! I just love this thing, y'all. I'm going to tell you again, if you don't have one and you know, want to save up for something that you will use and it's worth the money, that right there. When you're putting down a dry glue, now I have to tell you, I love some score tape. I'm a big fan of the score tape. Love it. I use it in the 1/2 inch size and the 1/4 inch frequently. But when I saw Craftin' Vicky and how much she uses her ATG, and Gina on the Rebookery and what these things can stick, you know, to, and how quick and easy the psh, psh, psh is. Just laying that glue down. Oh God, see, I messed up. I don't remember where to put this now. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna put her right on top. Oh, here's something that would be smart to do. No, maybe not. No, we'll do that last. I was gonna say I'd go ahead and stick her on there. Okay, I do not want my flower hanging off my tag. Okay, right here is gonna be fine for the tag. Ticket, I mean the ticket. Yeah. Okay, see? Done. And you don't have all those little papers that the backing, you have to stop and peel off the you know, the score tape. You know, you don't have to tear it into little pieces, and it works really well. So I'm also going to use the ATG on her. And it's just very versatile. And Gina uses it actually to stick fabric things into her journals, including on fabric. Yeah, it's a really nice thing to have. And it was a very much loved Christmas gift. Okay, she's covered really well. And I take the tape that's sticking out and just roll it with my finger to the back. Just pull it right back. And let's say there's a little bit up here on the bow. Pull that back. Yeah, I got it on Amazon for less than $20. I thought that was a pretty good price, don't you? And it came with 2 rolls of tape. And I have since ordered some tape refills because I have already, you know, burned through those 2. Okay, I want the little corner of her dress here, that, to cover the corner edge of this ticket, and it'll just help line up her position. I want that there. Isn't she cute with that bow in her hair? My girls would not wear bows. I have 2 girls. Neither one would wear the bows in their hair. Oh, it just killed me. I was a school teacher. And, you know, so I had got to see the little girls with the bows in their hair all the time at school, and couldn't wait till I had kids and girls, hopefully of my own, to wear bows in their hair. And I finally had them, and they wouldn't wear them. My oldest one, she was kind of a tomboy. Yeah, she's funny at first. In fact, her first little school experience, she was one girl in a classroom of 15. So it was 14 boys to the one girl. And she was so excited. One day she came home about midway through the year, and she was like, "Mommy, we got a new student in class today." And I was like, "Oh, what's his name?" You know, just assuming it'd be another boy. And she said, "No, Mommy, it's a girl." And I won't say her name, but she was so excited to have that little girl in her class. Okay, I'm trying to decide if I want to just staple these on or glue them. I think I'm going to just staple them on in one fell swoop. How about that? And then that way, if I decide I want to stick, you know, some words or a little saying, and I need some extra space just to tuck the end, I can lift that up and tuck it under. I'm probably going to put a little bling in the middle so it'll cover up the staple. But anyway, yeah, she has always been very good friends with boys. Had a better relationship of friendships with boys than girls, and I think it's from her early days starting out. That's what she knew. She had lots of little boyfriends, and like, not boyfriends, you know what I mean. It was funny. And then my youngest one, she's my social butterfly, and she still loved how, you know, she was the kind that wanted to wear dresses. She went through a spell of that, but no hair bows, Mommy. None. And by the, you know, they'd be hanging down in her face, which I guess was aggravating. If I had all that hanging in my face, I'd be a little upset about the situation too. Okay, let me go get some bling. All right. May just have to make it work. Okay, the only bling I could find was these Tim Holtz ones, and I really like these bigger size ones with the metal around it, the trim around it. But I think they are, it says fasteners, yet they're brads. So I really, even though I haven't covered the back, and I don't know that I'm going to, I think I'm going to leave it craft. I don't really want another thing sticking out back there, so they're kind of out of the picture. I really wanted like you know, a fake diamond looking thing. I can't find my clear bling. I'll find it as soon as this I stick something on there and glue it. Okay, let's move on though. We'll have to make do. They were on a thing just like this. Anyway, I have these pearls. Pearls always work. I have blue ones, blue jot ones, and I'm not sure if it's the right kind of blue or not. Oh, they're all the same size, aren't they? How does this work? You have to cut them apart. Okay, let's just cut one off. I did not realize that. I think it's too small. Yeah, for what it's cute. But see, it doesn't cover up my big old staple. Now I'm thinking, ooh, shouldn't have stapled that on. Should have glued it. Because I kind of like that blue. We may have to go with the pearl because I have some rather large pearls here. They're ivory more so than these. These are more of a white. These are more off-white or ivory. So let's just go with that. Not dwell on it anymore. Why does that one look darker? Oh, it's just the light. They're all the same. Okay. So we have our bling, and even though it's sticky backed, I always like to add glue because I don't trust. Do you see what I mean? This should just be like oozing out. It's standing on its head. Look how thick that is. Wow, yeah. Maybe it's just old, or I didn't use it for so long. Anyway, so let's get this mushed into the glue. Yeah. There, that'll work. That's cute. And I do plan on putting some kind of little phrase or words down here. I'll have to go look in my, like the little Tim Holtz sticker phrase word packs, like chit chat or small talk. I also have some of his, these are his too, that come on little chipboard pieces. This one says be brave. It's a little too big though for what I'm looking. Most of them are about this size. Let's see what we have here. I had pulled them out for those other tags. Here's another Be Brave that's, oh, even longer. Of course I could, here's what I do with the chipboard. I typically peel it apart. This is another tip I learned from someone. Did not think of it myself. You know, you peel it apart like this and it gets rid of half or more of the bulk of this piece of chipboard. Yeah, I'd like to do that. And then I could cut it apart. I kind of like Shine Brightly. Stay Curious. She didn't look very curious though. I really like Shine Brightly. Now see, if I had been thinking, I would have put wings behind her from a butterfly cutout and and put Use Your Wings down here at the bottom. That would have been really cute. But, you know, live and learn. Let's try Shine Brightly. I'm sure even if I don't use it this time, I'll use it sometime and it'll just be peeled off already. See, Brightly will, no, I'll trim it though and that will fit. I'll make it work. And Shine will definitely work. Okay, let's see if we can't peel off a little more. I don't want it so thin though that it rips. Here we go. Yeah, it's starting to come off in little pieces now. Not quite as thick. I don't want it, I want to be able to cut it very easily and get it straight. That's enough of the trimming. So let's cut off the end behind the Y. Pretty straight. The word, like, the word is not evenly printed on this chipboard, but whatever. Let's see if that fits. Yeah, and see, like I said, I can lift up that little petal there and just get the tip of that underneath the, get under there. Put that right on the corner. Boy, I wish these were a cream color instead of white, but now let me trim shine. See how that looks. Yeah. We'll just have shine brightly. I think that's cute. How does that look up there? Okay. Now we have to, don't have to, but we're going to, whoops. Sponges rolling everywhere. That was funny. Undo the ink. Okay, that end of the sponge I have chewed up pretty good, inking things, so we'll move back down to this end. It's almost time for a new sponge. Let's get these inked up quickly. Just a little bit. Yeah, I almost wish I had used my, I've got like a gray down there. It's a Ranger ink pad. It just has dye ink splattered across the front of it. You know, they were some that I got at Tuesday morning. And, you know, I'm always leery of inks that don't have archival, is that what it is? Archival, yeah, Ranger archival ink or Staz-On. Anyway, the price was so good, but when I noticed it had Ranger printed on there, I said, well, I think I'll trust that that's archival, and picked up several colors, one of which was called, I think it's Rain Cloud, or Watering, I think Watering Can is the archival name, so it was, I think it was Rain Cloud. It's really pretty. But it's more of a gray, like what is in the print up here. Of course, the way I'm putting this on is kind of light, so it has a grayness about it instead of that sharp black. Okay, I'll put this away. Now see, my rubber banding, I go ahead and, I've already popped a bunch of rubber bands, so I found for some reason it works better to go ahead and double it up. It doesn't stretch them as much or something. Okay, we're going to use tacky glue again. Practice do my workout for the night. Just run a bead of glue there. I like to smear it with the tip of the bottle. Gonna get it on your fingers, that's okay. Okay, good enough. Probably, okay. And I want to get that petal up and out of the way. And then you can, the one good thing about wet glue is you have a few seconds to, you know, maneuver your piece around. Make sure you have it in the position you want it before it sticks completely and adheres. With that tape runner, now I've seen Gina pull some stuff apart. I've seen Vicki pull papers back, you know, apart somehow, but my luck typically doesn't run that well. And they did it without damage, you know, without the papers being damaged. I was actually surprised. But, yeah. Okay. My luck doesn't run that well. I want that lined up with the B and brightly. There we go. So there's my tag, Shine Brightly, to go off in the post tomorrow. Oh, I think I can trim those off now. Let's do that. So we're not quite done yet. And what I should have done, here's a tip, another tip. I obviously haven't taken under my wing yet permanently, is before you start on the 3D type embellishments, a lot of them, it's a good idea to go ahead and sign the back and date it. You do want to do that to anything you've created of your own. I'm bad about not doing it, I forget, but in swaps I'm pretty good about getting that done. So after it all dries, before I package it up with her ATCs, peel and glue. I love to peel glue off of my hands. Anyway, I will make sure I have signed and dated that. Okay. I like to trim from the back side. Just, I don't know, it seems to be easier to get right on the edge of whatever you're trimming off without messing it up on the front. Kind of weird. Watch where you're holding it because you've got wet pieces on there. Okay, that kind of moved, so still didn't get it. Oh, come on, really? Okay, that's good enough. No, it's not. Let's see, that'll drive me crazy. Let me get these little tiny scissors. Maybe they're a little sharper. Cut it from this angle. Yeah, that got it. Okay, so there we have our finished tag. Isn't she cute? Yeah, so, yeah, tags are so much fun to do. And like I said, this is a little addition actually to a swap that I'm doing that has nothing to do with tags. I just like sending little extras with whatever the main item is. And I think Dawn is getting ready to put up a swap from her group, Let's Make a Mess, today with Dawn. And if I'm not mistaken, she mentioned a monthly swap. And there's one, I think, coming up for February. I was just watching a video right before I started making this, which is what got me on the track of, oh yeah, I need to make that tag for that swap. She was making some tags for the next swap coming up in her group is what I'm trying to say. So check her out. She is so funny. I'm sure most of you probably already watch her anyway. But yeah, she's got a new swap coming up and it sounds exciting. So check that out. And I'm gonna let this dry and get it all packaged. I came back on because I forgot something, but you can tell what it is right away. I forgot to put the little, some ribbon or seam binding or something up at the top. So one thing I'm thinking about is this ribbon I looked at in the beginning to go down the side. That's definitely an option, and I'm going to actually just go ahead and cut a piece and give it a whir. See, I think it may just not be enough contrast to make me happy. I never remember which way I want to put this in. I like to see the ribbon like a band on the front. I think this is it. I figured out the other day. Yes, there's your band. That will be covering up the two strings. Let's just see how it looks, and if this is good enough, then we'll call it done. And if not, then I'll find, I've got some other grey-gain ribbon, and I could have made it a little longer, I suppose. Oh, I think that'll be fine. Yeah, actually, I like that. I like the, it's fuzzy, it's like velvet. I like that texture and how that looks. Okay, let me trim up the ends. And these are too narrow and thick to do the, to do the little inverted arrow. And so that'll do. Okay, that is my tag. Finally complete. So that's it for now, and thanks for watching, and hope to see you again soon. Bye.